I just turned 50 this year. One of the biggest unlocks in my life, I wish I knew earlier, was learning how I learn.
Keep the main thing.
Anything you want to do in life, it probably requires you to learn something related to it. And when it comes to creating a business, definitely a tech business, maybe raising venture capital, and any of those things, you're going to have to learn quick and you're going to have to learn all the time. Matter of fact, life is just a constant learning experience. And so I kind of look at life like the scientific method, where you kind of like have this idea, a hypothesis per se, and then you have to test that hypothesis, then you measure the results, and then you get back to like figuring it out, and then that didn't work. So, okay, cool. Have a new hypothesis. So learning is something you're always going to have to do. This is a constant thing. So sometimes you think people are so smart, but the deal is that they're always learning. And there's this concept called in startups and many things you do. Some people say you're building a plane and flying it at the same time. That's life. So I think that life itself, each individual, it's like your own little business that you're figuring out on the fly. And then when you start a business, the business is kind of like that. It takes a life of its own form per se. But overall, and even business is a constant hypothesis, and you're trying to figure stuff out. But overall, let's talk about learning, right? So I found out I learn best by listening, funny enough. And then I can also learn, I'm a visual learner too. So auditory learner, visual learner. I found out when I put those two things together, it like sticks like anything in my memory. So sometimes people like doing whiteboarding. Whiteboarding is a great visual stimulus to learn stuff as well. So sometimes you might have to draw stuff out. Some people are hands-on and things of that nature. So whatever that is, the early in life you figure that out, you want to do it. So since I learn best, like I'm an auditory learner, I pretty much remember a lot of stuff I hear. I can listen to an audiobook or a podcast and almost quote it verbatim, and I'm pretty lucky with that. So how I learn, I will read. I listen to audiobooks. I will listen to mad podcasts. I'll look at movies. For example, there's plenty of good movies on AI that I'm going to recommend in another video. Because what happens is that's the way I take on that information, and then I can fuse that, and then I can try to practice it in my practical life. So so whatever way you learn, you just have to pick it up and start doing it, because that's the key to success, in my opinion. Is always learning, always adapting, and that using that scientific method, which is a great way to learn. That's how scientists learn. So apply that to your life, and you can experiment yourself and like, oh, cool, I think I'm an auditory learner. Well, listen to some things. And how I figured a lot of stuff out is, funny enough, I do this thing called sub-vocalization. Sub-vocalization is when you read, you actually pronounce the words even in your mind, you're saying it out loud. I found out that term through a speed reading book. I was like, oh, if I can read faster, I can probably take on more information. Come to find out, I'm a slow reader because I did sub-vocalization. But then later on in life, when audiobooks start letting me listen to a faster pace, I can listen to a faster pace, but I just can't read at a faster pace. So I can listen and I can still get really good retention. So again, it's all about trying to figure out what works for you. Now I know that for me, I can listen to audio books at like 2x the speed, and I'm taking on more information. So life is all about experimenting. If you had difficulty learning, or maybe didn't learn in school, I was terrible in school because I wasn't a good student. But luckily, I got a good memory. So I think that's kind of like my superpower. So I'm just encouraging you to keep on experimenting, keep on digging into different kind of media and ways to take on information, but you can't stop learning. And to be an entrepreneur, to be successful in a career, you got to do it. So the end of the story is learn how you learn. And then once you learn that, then it's like you can compound the information in your head and the value that you can bring, because you always have to learn. And so that's it.
I'm looking in the mirror, what do I see? I see the only person alive that could stop me. I'ma push it to the limit with it, everything I got. I'm a rocket ship in motion, I'm headed to the top.